What is up guys, it is Jed, and for the people asking me to make a video about my thoughts and experiences with the game, here you go. Apex Legends is a battle royale that has temporarily taken over Fortnite. I don't know if this will be for very long, all I do know is that the game has been more popular than Fortnite these last few weeks. You might ask why, what did they do correct to take on the titan that is Fortnite? Well, the truth is, nothing. Apex Legends is a very generic battle royale. The only mechanics I can think of that haven't been implemented elsewhere is the respawn mechanic, the pinging system, and maybe a few small ones like the knockdown shields. As for the respawn mechanic, if your teammate dies, you can recover their banner, deliver it to a respawn beacon, which they will fly back in on a dropship, drawing a lot of attention and dropping back in with no gear. As for the pinging system, it's a great communication tool designed to eliminate communication barriers or make it simple to pinpoint an exact location without having to describe it or go to it. You can communicate quite a bit through the system, so much that you probably don't even need a headset or need to be talking to your team to succeed. These are incredibly useful and unique systems, but nothing to redefine the genre like building did in Fortnite. So this begs the question, why did they even take over Fortnite? Well, this has everything to do with Epic Games and nothing to do with Apex Legends. Epic Games has downright abused their title, pushing Fortnite further and further into the casual direction, never stopping to listen to criticism, never stopping to listen to fans, never stopping to care. They pushed their gameplay so far into the ground that there was no incentive to stay. I talked about this in the past when I was referring to my Fortnite is dying videos. The gameplay was regressing, and if people are given a reason to quit, they will. Apex Legends is a reason to quit. Epic Games did this to themselves with their own poor judgment and direction they took the game. Apex offers an environment, while far from perfect, it rewards a player that is good at gaming. Simple as that. People have clinged onto this and are loving the fact that skill is a determining factor in fights. If you are better than someone, you have a pretty good chance at winning. So let's talk about game mechanics. Apex Legends uses 100% accuracy and projectiles, something I've advocated for probably the most throughout my career. People seem to love this. Also, this is where I add my completely justified haha told you so. No, but for real, do you know how much shit I got for daring to suggest that this should be a core mechanic in Fortnite? Now that people on all platforms have it, they love it. And you're also not getting lasered across the map, which was a claim frequently used against mine. This is something that Respawn should be patting themselves on the back for. Not only did they prove me right, but this is great for their product. Apex Legends has a heavy emphasis on movement. Build momentum and keep it to outplay your opponents or reposition into cover. But there's a huge problem with this movement. Acceleration and deceleration in this game is horrendous. If you try to turn a corner, you are slowed nearly to a walking speed, and it takes a few seconds to build that momentum back up. Also, if you're hit, it slows all movement, which is not okay in a game that emphasizes on movement. I think the simple fix for this is remove the slow upon taking damage and increase acceleration across the board. That would, in my opinion, put the already somewhat skill-based movement in a very skill-based spot. It also rewards aggressive playstyles. You shouldn't punish those that are willing to take the risk and make a play. They already have the risk of exposing themselves and getting gunned down for making that play. This is an additional risk that is thrown on top of that and pushes players in the direction of sitting behind a rock because the reward isn't worth it or improbable to obtain. Next. Time to kill in this game is absurd, and this kind of ties into the movement. If the movement was kind of fixed, I don't see this being an issue. If time to kill was fixed, I don't see movement really being an issue. Time to kill in this game is very high, taking anywhere from 11 to 18 shots to kill someone. That sounds okay at first, but what if I told you that some guns have 18 shot clips, and ammo took a large amount of inventory space, and it isn't very plentiful in the beginning of the game? The immediate thought is, okay, you're expected to hit every shot in a clip. That sounds skill-based. What gives? Well, this game is team-oriented, meaning you rarely find a straggler. You will be fighting 3 people at once a majority of the time. What happens if you need to take a 1v3? My team dies, or they're playing really boring and not taking any fights. I've been put into these situations. I have to not get hit because if I do, I'm slowed, meaning everyone can easily hit me. I have to hit every single shot in my clip, reload, hit every single shot in the next clip, reload, and hit every single shot in my final clip. Throughout this entire process, I need to manage momentum, keep it, never slow down, never be shot, and keep my movement at an outplay level. Either that perfect scenario, or I just don't take the fight, which is boring. You might notice how the Peacekeeper, R99, Wingman are very popular picks in this game. It's probably because they're the only few guns that can put people down fast enough to take on multiple people at once. I see people rushing in this game with a R99, Wingman, or shotgun, not even bothering with the downright god tier skill requirement to take on multiple people with literally any other gun. This can be fixed in too many ways. Allow movement to remain in an outplay level, see previous topic. You could increase damage across the board, decreasing time to kill. It's balanced around having 3 teammates focus fire 1 person down, and what happens when you don't have a reliable team, which is forced upon you, or you want to play solo. Next mechanic I'd like to talk about is shields. Shields in this game are normalized really well, meaning nearly everyone has access to shielding at every point in the game. There's nothing much more to say here. Next, the abilities. I think the abilities in this game are pretty neat. You got a guy that can track hints that players leave behind. He can ping through walls and enter a mode that counters all vision obscuring abilities. You have a guy that focuses on winning face trade fights and shielding teammates in dire situations. You have my main, who can use consumables faster, call in level 3 loot, and safely revive teammates. Pathfinder, who can yank you out of bad situations and keep your movement at an outplay level. Wraith, which can correct bad positioning, set up for some nice plays with her portal. Bangalore, which actually focuses on countering that bad mechanic that slows you when you're shot. If they shoot near you but miss, you actually speed up, and you continue to move fast even if you're shot again. She also throws smokes and airstrikes. The decoy guy, which throws out a decoy to confuse enemies and draw fire. The last guy I haven't played, but he seems incredibly cringy, and most people I see playing him are really bad at the game. The map is great, it's small, it's easy to get around. You definitely won't wander around for 5 minutes looking for a kill. The big balloons in the sky can help you jump around the map super quick, chase kills, or get out of the storm as fast as you need to. However, for some reason, third partying in this game is horrendous. I believe that ties into the time to kill and how far you can hear gunshots on the map. If you're in a fight or just want to fight, you need to heal up and upgrade gear. A team who is full healed and ready to fight will have a tremendous advantage. It's going to take you a long time, due to high time to kill, to put them down, and it just won't be the same for them. Also, it hurts to say it, but I think gunshot sounds travel too far. The reason I like this is because I'm too aggressive as a player. The only time I stop moving is to heal and revive my teammates. I'm constantly rushing people and taking fights. When I hear a gunshot, I chase it down. I third party or try to clean up both teams. I always look for fights, and gunshots serve as a great way to find more. I like being able to find fights, but my goodness, is third partying bad in this game. It seems like most of the games that I lose is simply being unprepared for a surprise fight because I'm upgrading gear and restocking ammo. I think this could be an easy fix if you decrease how far shot sounds travel. This will keep people from knowing where you're at if you take a fight. I mean, maybe they could add a suppressor which slows bullet speed and increases drop, but I can already see that being really cringy. So I don't know, I'm sure there's some ways to go about fixing third partying without just making the map bigger and making it harder to find people. I don't know why, but I've talked to a lot of people and they seem to agree that third partying is just really bad in this game for some reason. As for the guns, I know people want the Wingman nerfed, and I disagree. I think every single gun needs to have the kill potential of the Wingman. The Wingman makes time to kill reasonable. You can outplay multiple people by peeking, shooting, avoiding damage, and dishing out a huge burst. Also, this would help early game when you can't find a wingman and someone else does. It's not easy competing with it if you're going against someone who can aim. Next other important mention is the Peacekeeper, the casual's best friend. This gun is making it hard to consistently enjoy this game. If you give this gun to someone with no arms, they'll still come out with a 10+ kill win. It's so situational, but if you're put in a situation where you need it and don't have one, you lose. I typically avoid the Peacekeeper because it isn't used a majority of the game for me, but the second a gap is closed and they have one, I don't, I get one tapped. It's incredibly frustrating and it completely takes away from my ability to run gun combos and try new things, because I'm basically forced to hold it at all times for that one moment that only happens a few times a game where I'm close enough to need it. The R99, I absolutely love this weapon. It rewards tracking, skill, and it can absolutely shred through teams. I typically carry a wingman and an R99 as my combo of choice, because I absolutely adore these weapons. As for probably everything else in the game, the LMGs are kind of strong, but everything else is just, I would group up as not worth your time. You have a bunch of standard just assault rifles or burst weapons, and they're really not that good. They can't keep up with the Peacekeeper, Wingman, and R99. And the issue with that is there's a majority of those weapons, so you're probably going to find those in the game, and you're not going to have a good time. If you have to take fights and someone's able to get their hands on one of those 3 weapons, you're probably going to lose. I mean, sure, you can beat them. I've beat them all the time. I've lost with them all the time. But it is just frustrating seeing the gap in some of these weapons. There are certainly more topics I would like to get into with this game, but I think I would like to hold those off for another video because they're more specific and I go into depth about certain specific things. But overall, this is just kind of my take on the game, where the game has its issues and faults, where I think it could improve. So far, it's a really good base. This game is really good, but it does have some big problems that I would like to see fixed. I'm still going to keep playing the game. This is nothing like Fortnite, where I have the issues of the game constantly shoved in my face every single time I play it, and it just drags on my desire to play the game. Apex isn't like that. I thoroughly enjoy Apex, and I plan to keep enjoying it until they do some stupid stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you disagree with anything I've said. I will be reading comments, and I'm happy to see other points of view. My name is Jed. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, everybody.